Okay guys, so today we will talk about chapter 5 security part 2. So in the first part we discussed the different type of security crimes. We discussed the types of security threats, security attacks, and all those kind of stuff. In this part we will discuss the privacy concerns or privacy issues regarding security and all that stuff. So two things that we're going to talk about today: cookies and settings of cookies, privacy concerns of cookies, and we will also discuss network security tools as well. Specifically, we'll discuss firewall, and we will also discuss antiviruses, how exactly antivirus works and how firewall works. So let's start with the first agenda item, cookies. So first of all, let me define what is basically a cookie. Cookie is basically a small text file created by, or you can say created by website you visit, small text file created by the website you visit and stored on user's computer is called a cookie. Now cookies can be of two types. Cookie can be a session cookie or it could be persistent cookie. So there are two types of cookies, session and persistent cookie. Please remember one thing, how you can visualize cookie. For example, if you log into your Hotmail account and for the first time when you guys log in with your Hotmail account, you might have observed that a pop-up message comes up like, do you want to remember your username and password? Once you hit yes, so basically you are permitting that website to create a cookie in your computer. So from afterwards, whenever you visit that website, they don't ask your password and they can directly access your cookie and they can get your username and password. So next is the session cookie. Let's define what is basically a session cookie. So session cookie, first of all, session cookies are stored in RAM. So session cookies are stored in RAM, random access memory. So these are basically temporary cookie, like once you close the browser, shut down your computer, everything will be gone. Three things that you need to remember about session cookies, which is again important from quiz point of view as well. First is the session cookies determine the start and end of the session. Start and end of the session, like timings. They also analyze and measure traffic on web page. Thirdly, also determine the web browser being used. Like web browser could be like Safari, Chrome, Internet Explorer, or maybe Firefox. So these are the things that are stored in session cookies, and once you close your browser, turn off your computer, these things will be gone. The next type of cookie is persistent cookies. Now persistent cookies are basically the cookies that are stored on hard drive. So cookies stored on hard drive of computer. Hard drive of computer are called persistent cookies. Now persistent cookies are basically persistent cookies usually used to collect and store information regarding like user preferences. You can say the passwords, user IDs, and other useful user information. User information mean the credit card, user addresses, and all that kind of stuff. Now what are basically the security risks associated with the cookies? Because cookies are stored in plain text form, so any website that supports cookie, they can track your user activities. So risks associated with cookies. cookies. So mainly there are three types of risks that are associated with cookies. Number one, websites that use cookies can collect your information and sell it to third parties. Okay. Secondly, what else they can do? Websites can track users' web surfing, web behavior, and create a user profile. Like just to create a profile and see what kind of person you are, what kind of things attract you and all that. Third is corporate and government entities can track user or your web behavior. In our chapter 6, we'll discuss what exactly government and corporate sector, what they do exactly with your web browsing data and all. Next is the how we can manage cookies. So how we can actually manage cookies. So depending upon which kind of browser you can use and all that stuff, we have mainly 4 main browsers that we actually use. One is Internet Explorer. Second is Google Chrome. There is another browser, Firefox. The people that actually use Apple, they use Safari. So these are 4 largely or widely used the web browsers. So depending upon which kind of web browser you use, your cookie settings are different. So typically, I mean, in Internet Explorer, cookies, like for Internet Explorer, what exactly they allow? Firstly, you can actually you can allow cookies. You can completely allow cookies, or you can block cookies, or you can delete cookies. These are the 3 main features that offers Internet Explorer. Now, how we can actually access our cookie setting in Internet Explorer? So how we can set up or customize, how to customize cookies in Internet Explorer. So how we can customize cookies, there are a few steps that you need to know about. Please remember these steps. These are very important from a quiz point of view. How we can customize cookies? The first step is you need to open desktop, get to your desktop, and click Internet Explorer icon. Second step is you need to click Tools on Internet Explorer, and then the Internet Options. Once you open Internet Option, then you need to click Privacy tab, and then Customize cookie setting. Okay. Next is make changes, or you make adjustment, customize it by sliding or moving the slider. So there is basically a slider. If you move it, you can make it hard, you can make it medium kind of secure and all that, and hit OK. So these are the 4 steps that we use in order to customize the cookies in Internet Explorer. Next, Google Chrome. What exactly you can do with Google Chrome? So in Google Chrome, there are 3 main settings that we can do in Google Chrome. Number 1, first of all, just like Internet Explorer, you can allow or block cookies. Okay, completely allow, completely block cookies. Then secondly, you can you can delete cookies. And third is you can make exceptions. You can actually give exceptions for cookies to certain websites. Like certain websites can create cookies, certain websites cannot, to create certain domains or websites. So these are the three things that you can easily do with Google Chrome. Next is the Firefox. Some people, they actually use Firefox and they believe it's more safer than Internet Explorer, so, or Chrome in fact. So in Firefox, first of all, what we can do in Firefox. So in Firefox, we can, there are few things that we need to know. In Firefox, number one, we can approve cookies storage requests. We can approve cookie storage requests. Number two, we can deny cookie storage request. So we can deny that because it will ask you whenever you want to create or whenever you enter the password. Number three, you can always delete cookies automatically. Delete cookies automatically whenever you start Firefox. So this is another setting in Firefox, like it can delete all the previous cookies in fact. Next is the efficient way to clear cookies in Firefox. So few steps that we efficient, I'll show you these steps in our online session. I'll walk through with all these. So efficient ways to clear cookies in Firefox. So in order to actually clear cookies in Firefox, we have four main things, or four main steps. Number one, firstly, you need to click menu button on Firefox, then choose history, then click clear all, clear recent history. So this is one of the way. Firstly, you need to click menu, then this is the menu button. You will see the menu on your Firefox. It will show you a drop down menu, then select history and then clear the recent history. Number two, once history is cleared, then you can set the time range to clear everything. Like after everything, like after how much time things are gonna be cleared. You can do that. Next is the click the arrow next to details button. So click the arrow next to details button to expand history items. Then fourth, make sure and select the cookies and make sure the other items that you want to keep are not selected. So please remember these four steps. These are very important steps for from exam point of view. You need to know all these four steps. The last thing is about for the browser, in fact, which is Safari. So in Safari, in order to adjust cookies, in order to set cookies, four main steps. Firstly, you need to select Safari, then click Preferences, Then third step is we need to click privacy, and the fourth is cookie setting. So these are basically the steps involved in Safari. Last but not the least point is basically about how to, like, things to consider whenever you allow cookies and all. So things, it's for all, like for all the browsers, things to consider whenever you allow cookies. So whenever you allow cookies, you need to remember a few things. You need to actually consider these following. Number one, periodically delete cookies. So periodically delete cookies. Don't let a cookie in your computer forever. Next is the blocking, or you can say customizing your cookie setting. Third is the decide which websites you want to create cookies. So you can always make exceptions for some of the websites that you frequently use, for example, banks website and all that stuff. So the second agenda item, the last thing for today, is basically the network security tools. So there are many network security tools. Some of the tools are basically hardware-based tools. Some of the tools are software-based tools. One of the tools it's called Internet Filter. These are network security tools. Internet Filter. So Internet Filter is basically a software that blocks specific content that we actually specify, in fact, contents coming from internet. So internet filters are, we can actually, these internet filter can reside in routers. We can set internet filter in routers. We can set internet filter in our servers, in our networks, and of course it comes with your browsers as well. But these are the three main things in which we can integrate internet filters. Next is the firewall. Firewall is basically, it could be a software. Please remember, firewall can be a software. It could be a hardware. And we do have a firewall in our Windows computer as well. So it could be software, hardware that protects computers from outside threats. Outside threats can be like viruses or malicious hackers and all that stuff. So it filters outside threats such as hackers and viruses. So filters the viruses or malware and bad traffic. So we can always set our own rules in firewall. Then another network security component that we use is called NAT, Network Address Translation, and it is a part of a router. In fact, please remember, it stands for Network Address Translation. This concept was introduced by Cisco. So network address translation, what network address translation does, it hides your internal IP addresses, hides internal IP addresses. Like your private IP addresses are basically hidden from outside traffic. Next is the password. Everybody is well familiar with passwords. We use password for passwords. We use password to secure over, for secure access of the, you can say, protected assets and all. So password is basically a secret code used to access protected asset. So we use the username password for authentication of the user, so only legitimate people can get access and all that stuff in password. I believe everybody's well familiar with passwords. The last thing is the antivirus software. So what exactly antivirus software does? Antivirus software, they scan all files. Antivirus scan all files of a computer to detect and remove malware or computer viruses. So there are two types of antiviruses. One is signature based. In signature based, they know the signature of viruses, like how a virus looks like, and then they compare all the scan file. If a match occur, then it means a virus has detected, then they try to remove that particular malware. Or it could be a heuristic based approach, anomaly based. Okay. Very important thing to remember in antivirus is basically antivirus. Once a virus is identified, then antivirus system attempts to remove virus from the file, and if it could not remove, then the file will be quarantined. So this is all for today. We will continue this the last part where we discuss the different type of viruses and all that stuff in our part 3.